We're going to install some full metal motor mounts, replace these boys on both sides with these guys, full metal motor mounts. We've got our spacers here all set up and pre-drilled, so the screw slot, so these spacers have been drilled so they're loose. First thing we've got to do is move our tool head out the way, loosen our belts, and then full disassembly. I've pulled all the existing hardware out. I really like how the stock plate is. I was able to keep the whole frame assembled and then slide it in, and then just put in these bolts really loose. There's no bolts on this bottom one, it's very loose at the bottom, and then put in one shroud. I'm going to put in the back shroud and then the front shroud, just nice and loose, and then I'll put in these 3 bolts from underneath and then jiggle it all up and check that it's all looking nice. But that's it, very loose, and I'm really liking how they're coming along. I had to take out the back arm that sits serrated here because I didn't put the nut in, well, the insert nut, I left it out, so very important to keep that in there. We've got our first motor mount installed, and it does look very cool, and it's very clean for what you can see in there. I'm very happy with it. Time to do the other side. We've got the other side set up. We've got the bolts going the other way around. I put the plate in first so I didn't have to remove the side like I did on the other side. And we've got our spacers. I've got 2 8s, a shim, and then the standard setup following the same specs from the RatRig. Everything's built from the bottom up, so that's the same spec and that's the same spec, and that's just to pad it out to 30 high. And the other side is the same, but it's flipped. Neat little trick. I'm going to use my finger under here with my 2 hands so I can hold this, lower it down, slide this plate over when it's a bit lower. It's not low enough at the moment, but I got plenty of room, and then I can swivel it and push it up with my finger, push it through the hole. Okay, that was really easy, but I forgot to put the belts behind it. Now we've got our belts in place, bottom belt sitting down there, top belts up. Do the same trick. Now we got it on. Got our belt sitting there, I can just push this through and we can fold our motor in. Oops. Something that I did notice, this belt was a bit chewed up on the top. I think I've got the alignment on my pulley here. I think this belt is just a little bit, you can see it's a bit black up the top. And there's heaps of blackness around there from the belt. I've got to raise this pulley just a smidge. I don't know how I did that, but that back is not meant to be that way around. There's not meant to be that 3mm spacer at the bottom. It's meant to be at the top. So this is all wrong. And this top front spacer is wrong as well, because there's meant to be more gap at the top. Oi, 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 what have I done? Okay, now these are looking so much nicer, and they don't make any grinding sounds as I pull my head around. So that's really nice. Very pleased with how this all works. And it's so visible, you can see everything that's happening inside of it. Not to mention, I've also got my front tension idlers, which are easy to bolt up. And they're both functional, and they also work in the enclosure without the front rail. Well, we can see on this clearly that the bottom of this idler is not in line with the bottom of that. And that belt is riding, so this has been in the wrong position for quite a while. So now looking at that belt, it's riding nice on the idler. Just got to tension it.